Click, 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 click and a picket. Click, 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 click and a picket. Click, 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 click and a picket. Click, click, click.
Our journey begins at the Bannock River Bridge. We cross this bridge, and it takes us from Dumaguete to the community of Calindagan. Calindagan is mostly a fishing community with easy access for people that need to work in nearby Dumaguete proper. Life in Calindagan is fairly simple. Here is a community where they still get water from a hand pump. And often people can be seen washing their clothes because few can afford a washing machine. The Calindagan residents are some of the happiest people I've ever met anywhere in the Philippines. All the kids are outside running around just as friendly as can be and eager to greet the foreigner who's come to their community. Some are even just a little shy, and rightly so. The typical house here is made from concrete block sidewalls with a steel and bamboo roofing. Here, the sewer and the sidewalk are one and the same. Just watch your step. Who knows what lurks below? Some of these narrow passageways are only passable by the width of a person. It gets pretty tight in some of these places. Here with a bird's eye view, you can see exactly what happened with this horrible fire. Over 100 homes were affected, with 60 of them being burned completely to the ground. Even with most of the homes being of a concrete base, you wouldn't think that they would be that destroyed. But apparently, with the bamboo roofing on the roof, that bamboo would catch fire, and the burning pieces would fall into the building, and everything inside the building would catch fire as a result. Now, because of the narrow passageways, the fire department couldn't get down these lanes to access the buildings. They had to run hoses, and that took a lot of time. And by the time they got their hoses set up, most of these buildings were completely engulfed in fire. Some say the fire started with arson. I think the jury is still out trying to determine exactly what happened. But whatever happened, it sure did a thorough job. Block after block of burned out nothingness greets the eye. Gray ashes, smoldering embers. The heat can still be felt at the base of the buildings, even 4 days later. The average size of the Filipino household per person per home averages 4.4. So this fire, with over 100 homes affected, displaced close to 500 plus people. Not only displaced were the people, but also the street animals, who typically knew at what time and where to go for food and water, now are seen just trying to find out how to manage. Now begins the heartbreaking work of picking through what was left, trying to find anything that resembled something that we once cherished and knew, and trying to put it into our pail and save a little bit left of what we once had. While walking down the streets of Calindagan, if the buildings weren't empty, often seen were children picking through the ashes, almost in a post-apocalyptic type scene. I often wondered, were they there because these were their homes, or they're trying to find something of value beneath the ashes that the previous owners had decided wasn't worth their time? Here this boy's picking through with a spoon. Despite what's been lost, it's time to move forward and it's time to rebuild. Rebuild our lives and rebuild the future memories. And the beauty of the Filipino people is they are some of the strongest people that can endure some of the worst hardships and still come out on top. The people that greeted me in this community were so full of smiles and joy, just like as if this fire hadn't happened. They know that the most important thing is their family and their lives, and everything else they can rebuild again. So now comes the time to stop looking backwards, to turn and look forwards, And to cross that bridge, just one more time.
Click, 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 click and a picket. Click, 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 click and a picket. Click, 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 click and a picket. Click, click, click.